Kharybdis or Kharybdis was a sea monster, later rationalized as a whirlpool and considered a shipping hazard in the Strait of Messina. Overview. The sea monster Kharybdis was believed to live under a small rock on one side of a narrow channel. Opposite her was Scylla, another sea monster, that lived inside a much larger rock. Odyssey, Book 12. The sides of the strait were within an arrow shot of each other, and sailors attempting to avoid one of them would come in reach of the other. Between Scylla and Kharybdis thus means to having to choose between two dangers, either of which brings harm. 3 times a day, Kharybdis swallowed a huge amount of water, before belching it back out again, creating large whirlpools capable of dragging a ship underwater. In some variations of the story, Kharybdis was simply a large whirlpool instead of a sea monster. A later myth makes Kharybdis the daughter of Poseidon and Gaia and living as a loyal servant to Poseidon. She aided him in his feud with Zeus, and as such, helped him engulf lands and islands in water. Zeus, angry for the land she stole from him, cursed her into a hideous bladder of a monster, with flippers for arms and legs, and an uncontrollable thirst for the sea. As such, she drank the water from the sea 3 times a day to quench it, which created whirlpools. She lingered on a rock with Scylla facing her directly on another rock, making a strait. The theoretical size of Kharybdis remains unknown, yet in order to consume Greek ships the whirlpool can be estimated to about 23 meters across. Kharybdis has been associated with the Strait of Messina, off the coast of Sicily and opposite a rock on the mainland identified with Scylla. Were Kharybdis to be located in the Strait of Messina, it would in fact have the size to accommodate the whirlpool. A whirlpool does exist there, caused by currents meeting, but it is dangerous only to small craft in extreme conditions. References in ancient literature, the Odyssey. At many points within the poem, Odysseus is hindered by the efforts of Poseidon and the sea monsters throughout the ocean. Odysseus faced both Kharybdis and Scylla in Homer's Odyssey while rowing through a narrow channel. He ordered his men to avoid Kharybdis, thus forcing them to pass near Scylla, which resulted in the death of 6 of his men. Later, stranded on a raft, Odysseus was swept back through the strait to face Scylla and Kharybdis once more. This time, Odysseus passed near Kharybdis. His raft was sucked into Kharybdis more, but he survived by clinging to a fig tree growing on a rock over her lair. On the next outflow of water, his raft was expelled. Odysseus recovered it and paddled away safely. Jason and the Argonauts were able to avoid both dangers because they were guided by Thetis, one of the Nereids. Aristotle's Meteorologica. Aristotle tells a story of Aesop in conflict with a ferryman and relating to him a myth about Kharybdis. She took one gulp of the sea and brought the mountains to view. Islands appeared one after another. The third will dry the sea altogether. Notes. References: Smith, William. Dictionary of Greek and Roman Biography and Mythology, London. Scylla 1.